On to you, Libras. Hopefully you Libras are having a good day. So for you, you actually have the Four of Cups, Two of Swords, Five of Cups. So a lot of you Libras are actually getting to know somebody, or you were, and right now you're thinking about what is the best thing for you to do. If you should leave them alone, or if you actually should stay with them, or continue to get to know them. The answer to that question is you should probably leave them. And the reason why is because you're wishy-washy about it. You're in and out about it anyway. That's not necessarily really something in which you should be, right? You should most definitely make up your mind before you actually decide that you're going to be with them, right? Because that making up your mind will help you decide whether or not you're going to be with them. You being wishy-washy is indecision. That's what the wishy-washiness, excuse me, it's the indecision. Trying to have two things that are like mixing oil and water, right? You can't use somebody and then still like them at the same time and wish that the two of you could be in a relationship. That's dysfunctional. And so whatever it is that you have about them or whatever they have about you, maybe it's you, where it's like you don't necessarily feel like you're secure in this because of how they're moving or how they're acting with you. Now, once again, if they feel, if they're moving like this with you, then you should probably apply pressure and find out what exactly is going on. Because one of the last things that you want to do is have a wishy-washy significant other. This is where a lot of relationship situations end up happening. You don't want that type of stuff happening to you, because what you have is you have individuals basically that is in a position where this is where you end up having like relationships that end up like breaking apart and stuff like this for years after being married and all of that. It's because you have an individual who doesn't really know how to rekindle romance with the person. And so what they end up doing is ultimately what they end up thinking that this is the best way to reignite the romance again, is to go back to the very beginning when they didn't know you and you didn't know them, and you were the one to probably walk up to them when they walked up to you, without realizing that they can do both. They can still be in a relationship with you and at the same time not just be in a relationship with you, but also rekindle that romance. And so, because a lot of people are not very bright when it comes to things like romance and love. Like this we got to talk about this, because a lot of people they don't take the time to slow down or to consider. And sometimes people are so interested in using other people, they don't really understand that romance there's different forms of romance. For one, there's having romantic fun, if you know what I mean. But there's also different forms of romance where you're in love, or you're choosing to go back into love again with the person by relearning about them, by making yourself excited again about this person. And that takes discipline to do, right? That's what you do. You have to actually remind yourself what exactly is going on, why it is that you actually decided to be in a relationship with this person in the first place. And what a lot of people end up doing is, instead of them, and there's different practices in which you can do as well, right? Don't talk to them every day. Don't sleep, don't be in the same room together, certain nights when y'all go to sleep, all of that type of stuff. But when you talk in that, a lot of people, because they're looking at it from a moralistic perspective, and it's like, oh, XYZ. And it's like, I'm telling you, and I've already dropped the science on it. Don't sleep in the same room all the time. Don't see each other every single day. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not living together. if you're not living together, do not see each other every single day. And so the situation with that is that the Four of Wands and the Four of Wands and the Strength card right here represents how you you Libras, right? You want to know what's up, right? So you're asking them, right? Or you will ask them, or more so you want to know what's up, but at the same time, it's a situation where, I got a little bit ahead of myself. You will ask them what's up. For some of you Libras, um, it's you making a decision to actually walk away from them and walk away from what you could have had, what this relationship could have been, and you Libras actually moving forward, and them wanting to know like why and want you Libras to stay. But I just see a lot of you Libras do not want a relationship with somebody who does not want who does not have that same kind of excitement. Because I've talked about this before, like the 50-50 concept, right? You want to be in a relationship with somebody who's just as excited about you as you are with them. Stop listening to dating coaches. Anytime you hear somebody talk this nonsense about you want to find somebody who's a little bit more into you than you are into them, they're lying to you. That is a recipe for not good things to happen. Because why would you be in a relationship with somebody whom you're not ecstatic about? That makes no sense. And do you know how lame a person is going to feel to do something big for you and well thought out and planned for you? Or maybe it's spontaneous, but they are trying to represent or kind of give a description of how they feel about you in these gifts and the things that they do. And then you just meet this person with you know how crushed they're going to feel about that? This is why I keep saying, like, these people are not qualified to be talking on the internet about this stuff. They're talking hogwash. You Libras really got to understand that the vast majority of times when you hear people talk about relationships, the vast majority of the time they're feeding you BS. I'm telling y'all, it's this trash doesn't play out in reality. And so the situation with that is that so you're deciding to stay away from them because they're not as excited about you as you were of them. And so the Nine of Swords and the Page of Swords right here represents you'll be better, you'll bounce back, because you Libras are a catch. So this person is stupid because they lost you. And the Page of Swords represents they're trying to stop you from leaving. But once again, you Libras are able to sniff out pretty quickly. This person isn't very enthusiastic about actually getting to know you for real. They're not very excited. That you were trying to get to know them and excited about getting to know them, but they're not excited about getting to know you as well. And so that level of enthusiasm and excitement, that's part of what creates the compatibility. That's what creates the compatibility. You and a person are compatible when they're just as enthusiastic about being with you as you are with them. Let alone if the two of y'all have things in common with one another. And I mean organically, like not on some fake stuff and stuff like this or whatnot. I'm talking about it from a perspective of, especially if you have things in common legitimately with this person. And then it's like, well, how do you know that the person, right? How will you know when you and a person has something in common with each other? Well, they'll be able to go into detail in which you probably already know about it, right? I talk about anime and stuff like this, right? Stuff like this. How many anime lovers out there, right? Talk to me about Dragon Ball Z. If a person is into Dragon Ball Z and stuff like this, and they actually got into it and it became a hobby of theirs or an interest of theirs, right? Using myself as an example, we both can talk Dragon Ball Z to one another. And they would know who Goku is and Vegeta is and Bulma Yamcha, right? Yamcha, excuse me, Tien, Chaosu, Krillin, Piccolo, Chi Chi, right? Master Roshi. You know what I'm saying? The Ox King. You feel what I'm saying? Cell, Boo, Majin Buu, Super Buu, Gohan. You feel what I'm saying? Broly. They would know, right? The thing about it is that the Seven of Wands represents how this is a specific situation where, so a lot of you Libras are doing what it is that you need to do, which is to just walk away gracefully. The Judgment, right? The Judgment and the Ten of Swords, like it is that I said before, these people they object to you leaving. They don't want you to leave, but at the same time, they can't get over whatever they have about themselves to where they actually want to shake themselves up and actually really be with you. So a lot of you Libras, very much so, you've learned from your mistakes. You've learned from last year about, you trying to go after somebody and it didn't work. They were trying to, they were kind of giving you some choosing signals a little bit, and you didn't necessarily know if they were shy or if it was real, and you went to go find out, and it turned out that they wanted to dub you because they shy. Well, this situation right here is, they came on strong to you, and then now all of a sudden it's like they're kind of draping or tapering off. They're starting to kind of dwindle down and taper off about how much excitement they're giving. Now it's not even a matter of excitement anymore. Now it's a matter of they're doing less compared to what they used to do. And, it's, to make you feel special, or they're not really putting in a certain amount of effort. And so I get it, because relationships naturally are going to go through a Scorpio Phoenix cycle where you'll get the zenith, and then you'll get a good time, and then you'll go into a time where it's like the relationship needs to spicing up again. That time where a lot of the people need to spice up the relationships, that's where the relationships end up going to the trash. Because what happens is that people don't know practices on how to do those things. And for me, I've been practicing those things since I was 14, 15. That's one of the first things that I learned. I was on some stuff where I was learning this stuff when, like, abstinence was seen as uncool. You know what I'm saying? Now people talking about abstinence. People need to be abstinence. I was literally practicing abstinence to strengthen my virility, my strength and everything like that, my vigor, my energy, right? My chi, as a lot of people will call it. You know what I'm saying? I've learned this piece of information, or I've had this piece of information since I was 14, 15, somewhere around there. And been practicing it on and off since that time. And so that was uncool back then. That was literally uncool. That was like, if you were doing that, you were seen as like a person that just wasn't getting any, or like you wasn't getting any, so you had to. And it's like, no, it's a matter of, yeah, I wasn't getting any, but at the same time, it was a matter of, you had to come up with creative ways, because you was a teenager, and obviously you're not going to get anything if people don't give you permission, obviously. And so the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, a lot of you Libras are learning to harness that too. Like, it don't matter if you like this person. They don't like you because their own dysfunctions is acting up, not yours. But it's bringing you down if you stay with them, because you don't want to see a person whom you like and think the world of so much isn't enthusiastic or want you. You know what I mean? Or isn't showing you that kind of same focus and interest back. That's lame. So the situation for you Libras is that a lot of you have chosen to leave them alone, gracefully bow out, Let's clarify the judgment. This is probably what I must have was feeling last Libra reading. The Fool card, the Six of Swords. This is what I'm talking about. Three of Wands, Eight of Swords, Eight of Cups. This is what I'm talking about. The Fool card, the Six of Wands, the Three of Wands. They're absolutely, they are just on their knees begging. They don't want you to leave because they understand, the both of you understand that it's not a problem with you Libras. The problem is not y'all. The problem definitely is them. They've got some things that they've got to work out. And a lot of you Libras know that. And that's part of the reason why you Libras are leaving, or you have left them in the first place. And again, the Six of Swords, they're signaling you to come back, right? They signaling you to come back. You know, don't leave and everything. But why would you want to be in a relationship with someone that isn't enthusiastic or excited like that to be with you? And so the Three of Wands, you know what I'm saying? And then the Eight of Swords represents you see, you Libras, you understand that you owe it to yourself to go out there to find someone who's going to match that level of excitement for you to be with them as they are going to be with you. And so the Eight of Cups right here represents, so you've moved on peacefully. You will move on peacefully. And it doesn't matter how much it is that they say that they want you to come back. You Libras will not go back just based upon the principle of it. I think you Libras did an amazing job, and I think that a lot of y'all are keeping your head held high. And you, I know for a fact you did the right thing. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. I'm trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 24,680 subscribers. If you want to come through and get a personal reading, or my books, or Kareemspiritworks clothing, which you should, the link to that is in the comment section below. It's the Linktree link.